This is a Bailey Pageant Monarch. On the side of the van on this side you have your locker where your battery goes, and your mains connection will also go into the locker on the side as well. On the front of the van you have your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake, and these will all be demonstrated to you here on site in person. The front locker holds 2 gas bottles where you can tie them down against the bulkhead, and the gas regulator is also fitted to that bulkhead as well. And you can carry a maximum of 2 6-kilogram propane gas bottles. On this side of the van at the front you have your wind down leg for each side at the front of the van, so you can stabilise the caravan when it's on site. You would never lift the caravan with this wind down legs, it is just there for stabilising the van. You then have your heating flue cover for the heating systems on gas. You remove this cover prior to igniting anything on gas inside the caravan. You have your fridge vents. These are here to allow allow heat out the side of the fridge unit, and also behind one of these there'll be a gas flue for the fridge system also. Down the bottom of the van on this side you have your grey waste pipes to allow the grey waste out the side of the van, so the fresh water that goes in just there, so you put your water connection into place and into your aqua roll, which you'll see on the day of collection. And then your grey waste pipes will come out the side of the van just down here, and they'll drop down, like I said, into the aqua roll itself. On the back of the van you have your toilet flush tank, which you put 3.5 litres of water in and a cap full of the pink fluid. In the bottom here you have your toilet cassette, which you open up. The toilet cassette will be released by the yellow handle on the bottom of the tank. You pull the cassette out to empty it via the turnout neck that turns out 90 degrees. But prior to using that cassette you'd need to put 1 litre of water in there and a cap full of the blue fluid. On the back of that cassette also there is a yellow pressure relief button, so as you're tipping the waste away, you can tip it away without it spitting and splattering back at you. On the back of the van on either side you have your wind down legs again to stabilise the caravan. And then at that point we'll go inside of the caravan and I'll demonstrate the system on the inside, or explain how they work on the inside of the van. So when you initially come into the caravan, just by the door here, you're going to turn on the master power switch just here. Your lights and your awning light are on the 2 top switches here, and the water pump run for the water system. To fill the water system, once you've got the aqua roll connected on the outside, you're going to come over to every tap on the caravan and then open them all up on the hot side of the water heating. So as you can see, open them up so the taps are open. You'll do the same in the bathroom, on the sink, and the shower tap as well. You'll then go underneath the seat on the right hand side front of the caravan, and just down in the front of the cabinet here you'll see the yellow drain down valve. You'll make sure that valve is parallel with the floor, which will enable you to fill the water system. If that yellow valve is pointing up towards the bottom of the seat, it will actually drain all of the water out of the system when you turn the pump on. So with that valve parallel to the floor, you'll come over to the water pump switch by the door. You'll turn the water pump on and a red light will come live on here when the water system is filling. And then once the water system is completely full, you can turn each tap off around the caravan, so that's when the water is running continuously out of the hot side. You'll turn all of the taps off, and then you'll be able to start heating the water on gas or electric. So just down below the seating area on the front right hand side, you'll find the master power switch for the water heating, which you can turn on so the red flash is visible, and that will warm the water up to around 35 to 40 degrees of water temperature. If you want to operate the water system on gas, you can spin the dial around on the right hand side to the gas option. It will self-ignite on gas, and when it does you'll get a green light appear in here, and if it failed to ignite you'd get a red light appear just next to that green light. To control the temperature of the water on gas, you have the dial on the front here between 30 and 70 degrees. When the grey dial is spun around to the gas symbol just here, it will actually self-ignite, and there is nothing you need to do to get it to ignite as long as the gas bottle is turned on. Next thing we come to is the heating for the caravan. The main heating, so you need to have the power switch on just here for the heating, which is 230 room heater. You would then turn the dial at the top here, depending on what site you're on, to the correct power source that you have coming into the caravan, so whether it be 500, 1000 or 2000 watts. So for instance, 500 watts here on site. You'd then get a green light appear just next to the off position here, and you can control the temperature of the heater between 1 and 9 on the dial. So like I said, it will just depend on what site you're on to what power supply you can use down the right hand side here. To ignite the heater on gas, you've got this gas valve on top of the actual heater, which will spin round between 10 and 9. Hold down the gas valve, and when the pilot light ignites, you'll actually see it in the window down the front. Once it has ignited, we advise you hold down the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the valve and control the temperature on the dial on top. If you want to use blown air heating on the caravan, you can do that. So you've got the option to run continuous blown air by pushing this switch across to the wave symbol just here, which will be continuous blown air, and you control the fan speed on top. The dot in the centre will allow the heat to come out the front of the heater itself. And if you go onto the A, the blown air will actually cut in and out with the thermostat on board the van. To operate the fridge system, again, very simple to do. You've got a dial on the front here. So you've got the off position here to turn to be able to turn the fridge supply on. To ignite it on gas, you'll spin the dial round to the flame symbol at the top. You'll press in the temperature control on the right hand side of the fridge, which allows a little bit more gas flow through while it's trying to ignite. And then the red line here that you see in the bottom of the window will come round into the green, and if it ignites, the red line will stay in the green, and you'll continue to hold the temperature valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds after it is ignited, just again to allow the thermocouple to warm up. You can then control the temperature of the fridge on gas or mains on the dial on the right hand side. To put the fridge onto mains power source, you'll spin the dial round here to the plug symbol, and that will work off your 240 supply on site. You've then got the option to run 12 volt. What that essentially means is when you connect it to the car and you've got the right connections on the back of the car, you'll be able to use the fridge as a cool box. So you'll be able to put it to the 12 volt symbol here, which is the battery symbol. And like I said, as long as it's connected to the car correctly with the right connections, the fridge will work as a cool box. Cooker, hob and grill works very much the same as your household items, and no differences there at all, with your igniter for all on the front of the cooker itself. In the back of the van, you have the toilet system, which has a pump flush on top, so you'd pump up and down with the flush option here, with the flush lever here. You have a full indicator light to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full, and at that point you'd need to empty the cassette. The toilet turns for your convenience, so you're not cramped in the corner of the van essentially. So you can turn the toilet seat across the van if you wish to. However, when you do go to remove the toilet waste cassette from in the side of the van, you'd need to make sure the toilet seat is pointing straight towards the shower. If not, it will not allow you to remove the cassette from the van. Underneath, you have the toilet waste flap here. So you'd open the waste flap up while you're using the loo facilities on board the van to allow the waste to go in the cassette underneath. If you have any further questions on the Bailey Pageant Monarch, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. Thank you for your business, and we hope you enjoy the caravan. Bye bye.